Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like, you dislike, or even if you just want to outsmart me on something I said, go ahead, shoot us a quick call, 219-413-9405. And of course, we will play your take back on our next episode. And shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code TheRunPodcast. This code can only be applied to first-time users on the mobile app or the website. So I don't know about you, but hey, baseball season is still going strong right now. I don't think it's going to be a postseason for the White Sox or the Cubs, but you better catch one of these regular season games while you can, even for the Tigers out there, for all my Detroit people. So, hey, if your team is similar to that, you better catch the regular season. Anyway, look, man, hey, the Olympics is here. Team USA basketball just escaped a crazy game against Serbia. They came back from down 17 points, and they ended up winning against Serbia 95-91, and this was one hell of a game here. I've never been so proud to scream USA, USA, USA in my life. Oh my gosh, man. I've never been so proud of it because this was a beautiful game of basketball here. And I think we all learned two very, very valuable things here watching this game. One is that it's not impossible for Team USA basketball to lose. They're not unbeatable. That's something that was very, very clear because all game you were just kind of waiting for Team USA to click in and lock in and really flip things around, but they never really did it. So it was kind of concerning at one point. And it just goes to show like Serbia is a great basketball team as well because they out-rebounded Team USA. They also played great defense, forced a lot of turnovers as well for Team USA basketball. And it wasn't until the fourth quarter when USA really locked in and had to make something happen because it was scary down the stretch. But thankfully, we did lock in. So that's the first thing. Team USA is not unbeatable. That's the first lesson that we've learned. So going against France in the next matchup, you can't just come in with that chip on your shoulder that it's an automatic victory. No, we're not unbeatable. And the second thing here that we've learned is the best talent still resides within the United States of America when it comes to basketball. I'm trying to tell y'all. Because, yes, the game is evolving on a crazy level. It's evolving at a rapid pace to all around the globe. But I'm telling y'all right now, the GOATs of Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James reminded everybody how great of players we have here in the United States. Because, dog, seeing those three guys come together was just poetry. It was like your favorite song, hearing it for the first time. It was just beautiful watching those three guys that we've compared to each other time after time, game after game, year after year, represent one team. And we were able to cheer for them all. And we seen how great they were. Everybody played the role that they play in the league and that they play so well. LeBron finished with a triple-double, had 16 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. Steph Curry made 9 three-pointers and finished with 36 points. Kevin Durant coming down the court at the end of the game, hitting a dagger. Oh my gosh. It was crazy. The cross tween, pull up, it's unstoppable, bro. Whenever, in a more accurate description of what Kevin Durant was doing, whenever Kevin Durant catches you at the top of the key and he hits you with a goal left and then cross right, oh my gosh, it's unstoppable. It's unstoppable. Because, oh my God, man, it was just marvelous to watch this team rally back from 17 and actually win. It was the scare that we've all been like anticipating and wondering if it could happen. But thankfully, Team USA locked in. They were able to get it done. They were able to bring home the win. So, I'm very, very proud of them. And this is one of the times, man, as they say, a lot of BS be happening in the States sometimes. But this is one of those times. During Olympics, boy, everybody be prideful as hell. everybody be screaming Team USA, USA, USA. so it's one of them times for sure, man. And, although Team USA had this huge win, there is still going to be some controversy because it wasn't all just stars and sparkles for everybody. Obviously, we got the big win, but, some people going to dissect the game in ways that we don't really want to talk about. And one of the things that they're going to discover and realize is that, hey, man, NBA champion Jayson Tatum still hasn't gotten any clock down the stretch of a game. It's insane. Thinking about this, in the crucial moments, I personally understand why Jayson Tatum didn't play. I mean, you were riding out with Devin Booker, Steph Curry, LeBron, KD, and Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid finally had a great game as well because we've been clowning him, talking about how bad he's been all tournament and all Olympics, but finally he showed up. He had 19 points, and he wasn't scared against Nikola Jokic. So I'm glad he actually showed up and showed why we have him playing and starting in the crucial moments of the game. So I get that. So I wouldn't want to switch any of the rotations if I'm Steve Kerr or Eric Spoelstra. I wouldn't want to switch the rotations down the stretch because clearly this is the group that's been rolling throughout the game. They've been balling. They've been going on a run, and they're leading the team to a comeback victory. So I don't want to kill any of that momentum. So I understand that. However, the thing that does bother me, 10 of the 12 players on Team USA saw the floor in this matchup against Serbia. Even though US was down 17 points, 10 of the 12 players on this team saw the floor, and two of the players who didn't see the floor was Tyrese Haliburton and Jayson Tatum. Those two guys didn't. And mind you, of the 10 players who saw the floor, this does include Jrue Holiday. This also does include Derek White. Guys who should not be playing over Tyrese Haliburton and Jayson Tatum if we keep it at 100, bro. Because it's almost impossible to think of a reason why Jayson Tatum isn't seeing the floor. I know it can be a lot of different excuses out there, but theoretically, the only thing I can possibly even think of is that there's some sort of injury that we don't know about and that they don't want the media to know about as of right now. And hopefully that is the case because I would hate for it to be some sort of internal beef going on, with the roster of Steve Kerr, Spoelstra, and all of them that's keeping Jayson Tatum from seeing the floor right now because this is just crazy to think about, man. It's no reason Derek White and Jrue Holiday, teammates of Jayson Tatum on the Boston Celtics, should be getting clock over him. And I know it's a deep roster on Team USA right now, especially at that position that Jayson Tatum is playing, being the 4 and 3 and 4, because you got KD, you got LeBron, Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis. It's tough at that position right now. It's locked and loaded. So I get that. But also, we're talking about a guy who has a tremendous amount of versatility to his game. Like, he can play the 2, he can play the 5 if you really, really needed him to, because we've seen him do it in this past season when they won a championship. We've seen him slide all the way to the 5. We've seen him slide at the 2 and just do his thing. So, there is room for him to see clock. And media did ask Steve Kerr about why Jayson Tatum isn't getting any minutes and why he isn't playing. And Steve Kerr did respond. He said, it's tough to play a guy. It's tough to play all 10 players or even 12 players. I'm paraphrasing now, but it's tough to play 12 players in 40 minutes of game time. And I understand that, but also it's hard to believe that when you're giving guys like Derek White minutes and Jrue Holiday minutes when they really don't have to, especially in crucial moments of the game. So my theory here, I know it's a little silly, but I'm going to tell you like this, bro. I really think, sounds crazy. I really think Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra are trying to dismantle the Boston Celtics from within. That's the way it's looking. It's looking like they're trying to dismantle the Celtics from within because, it's no reason, one, you don't bring on Jaylen Brown, who's a teammate of Derek White, Jrue Holiday, and Jayson Tatum. You could have 4 Celtics on there, and then you have one of the Celtics who was a star of that team not seeing any clock. one of the guys who's only been on the team for 1 year, another guy who popped in late to the roster in Derek White, and now he's consistently getting minutes. So it just seems a little fishy, man. And I know it's a far-fetched theory, but I'm just saying, bro, you give me a valid reason of why he's not seeing the floor, because I really can't think of one. That's the only thing I can think of. So, hey, you got to let me know, 219-413-9405, if you have a valid reason of why Jayson Tatum isn't seeing the floor. I would love to hear from you, and of course, I will play that back. But above all, man, you know, I'm happy that Team USA is winning. I doubt we'll see anything different in the matchup against France, just because they've already been rolling, they've been winning, and truth be told, I really don't care as long as Team USA is winning. That's the only thing that really matters, especially, you know, with them trying to get gold right now. So I doubt anything changes because he hasn't seen the floor yet. But anyway, man, we'll see how they match up against France. But look, man, we gonna wrap up here. We actually got some news, so we got some news and then we'll wrap up. So it's not necessarily halftime, but I just feel wrong finishing off an episode without giving y'all news. Whether it's a full episode, a quick take, instant reaction, it doesn't even matter. I just feel wrong without bringing y'all some sort of news to the table. So we got some news coming up for you in just a sec. We'll be right back. Steph Curry on a Team USA victory.
It's everything I imagined it to be. Obviously, this is my first go around in the Olympics. Knew we were going to get challenged by a great Serbia team, and to have to beat them 3 times this summer was going to be tough. I just kind of got lost in the moment of understanding how big this stage is and what's at stake for this team. And it was special. It was the most fun, you know, I've had in a very long time. And, you know, to dig deep like we did with this group and get a win, special. So I'm kind of basking in that right now. And obviously know we got another tough challenge, France on their home court.
Here's Kevin Durant on the Team USA victory.
Come on, man. How can you not celebrate a win like that? Look at all our families in here. Look at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what this about, you know what I mean? We all come together as one on the other side of the world like this. Starting USA chants, our section starting USA, man. It's special tonight, man. So we got to celebrate. I'm not going to act like it's not, you know what I mean? I know we want to win a gold, but we got to celebrate the small moments, too.
Where a game like this kind of brings you even closer, right?
Guarantee you, everybody here, they'll never forget about this night. Everybody here gonna remember this night for the rest of their lives. That's how special this is. And because we came back and we showed how together we were in that fourth quarter. It was incredible.
All right, let's get into it, man. News for the run. Let's jump into it. So, as I mentioned, NFL season is right here around the corner. We got some preseason stuff, but our former Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles, is officially retiring from the NFL after playing in the NFL for 11 seasons. Now, Foles, he won an iconic Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles back in 2018. That is what he's most remembered for, is that Super Bowl back in 2018. Now, look, man, some preseason scores, not that it matters too much, but just in case you're curious about your team and you haven't been following up with the training camp and anything, today we had the first matchups of the preseason. The Patriots, they took on the Panthers. They beat the Panthers 17-3. The New York Giants, they beat the Detroit Lions 14-3. And of course, it's preseason, so it's nothing to get crazy riled up about. Mainly a lot of guys just fighting for some roster spots on the team. But tomorrow, as in Friday, or maybe that's today for you whenever you're listening, the Atlanta Falcons, they will be playing the Miami Dolphins, and the Houston Texans, they're going to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then the Philadelphia Eagles will be playing the Baltimore Ravens in the preseason stretch of Friday on August 9th. And then I'm going to leave you with this too. Some of the NBA schedules are here. They're live and direct. We seen a report from Woj that came out, but they announced the Christmas Day games that's going to be happening. So in that Christmas Day game for the NBA, you'll be seeing the 76ers go against the Boston Celtics, and you'll be seeing LeBron James when the Los Angeles Lakers play the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry once again. So, you know, hey, right now, man, just happy that everybody's coming up together. We're seeing USA basketball just ball out together. So I'm definitely happy about that. But anyway, look, let's kind of switch gears over to the NFL because that is what's really coming up soon. And that's like right here on the way. And I'm going to just say this in terms of the NFL, bro. I got my eyes on some teams. I talked about it the other day. If you tuned into that episode with Travis Hicks, we talked about some teams that we have our eyes on. I didn't want to cover all of the teams I was shouting about and been thinking about because that's just not fair to a guest when I bring them on there. That's why I wait to have this time, alone with you guys when I'm just on here blabbering around and just running my mouth. So, one of those teams belongs in the NFC South. Atlanta Falcons. We paid Kirk Cousins all of this money. I'm on this big deal, and then we turned around and drafted a quarterback. I'm kind of shocked that we even did that just as much as everybody else who paid attention to the draft in the Atlanta Falcons and had an eye over there in the NFC South. But one of the things I think is going to be tremendously different with the Atlanta Falcons is the fact that now we actually have a quarterback. So yeah, forget for a second that we overpaid a guy. Forget for a second that we drafted another quarterback when we just paid a quarterback all that money, and think about what we've been actually needing for some years. We secure all of the things that we've actually needed in the past few years. One was a head coach because Dan Quinn didn't get the job done, and the guy before Dan Quinn didn't really get the job done either. Dan Quinn was there for a long time, and it just wasn't working out. So we finally got a head coach. Works out perfect for me. And then now we got all these offensive skill guys who never had a quarterback to throw them the ball past 25 yards. But now look on the bright side. We have Kirk Cousins, and God forbid Kirk Cousins goes down with an injury. We have Michael Penix Jr. So the Atlanta Falcons, to me, they look like they're in great shape. It looks like they'll actually show some sort of progression coming into the new season because everything that they needed has changed, and they've attained everything that they needed over the past few years. We got a new head coach, and they got a new quarterback. So I'm content with where they are. And I know it sounded silly early on in the draft of grabbing a quarterback and all of that, but you still got so many guys on there that's going to help out on the receiving core and then in the backfield as well. So defense has always been one of those things that's been weary in Atlanta, but only time will tell. So those are just my thoughts on the Atlanta Falcons in terms of what they may do in the upcoming season. Now, another team that has my eye, the Houston Texans, because CJ Stroud has such a great rookie season with very few weapons on that team with the Texans. I'm excited to see what CJ Stroud can do now that he has a lot of guys over there. They drafted a cornerback, and then they also traded for Jeff Okudah, and then they signed the DN, Daniel Hunter, so he's going to be a huge help on that defensive line as well. So not only did they add some beef on the defensive end, but now they got plenty of receiving options. They're loaded with the running back in the backfield to help CJ Stroud. And then the game isn't as new to him anymore. He has 1 year under his belt. So to me, I'm like, I kind of like where this is going with the Texans. And in that division, it doesn't look like it's super duper competitive. So I think they can really make something shake, at least being division champs. So I'm excited to see what they can do as well. But between Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, those guys, they're loaded on the receiving core. And that's just a lot of talent for a talented quarterback in CJ Stroud to throw the ball to. So it's going to be interesting to see, though. But again, only time is going to tell. And it's preseason, so I don't want to get too hype about anything as of right now because preseason is just whatever. We're not even going to see half of these guys play in preseason. But I do want to know that Kirk Cousins is going to be healthy and everybody's going to be healthy coming into the season as far as now. But other than that, man, look, that's all I got for y'all today. I appreciate you for kicking it with me, for hanging with me, especially on the late night vibe of the episode. Just kind of an instant reaction after the Team USA game. Crazy game. And I'm going to just leave y'all with this here off the top of the dome. I want to leave you with something positive, man. Just a positive note here. And as far as the positive note, I'm going to go here. Listen, be open to listening. Be open to listening. Don't always don't always judge so quickly. Like just listen to alternative perspectives. I'm gonna just say that. All right, and I don't know how positive it is, whatever, but just listen to alternative perspectives, because sometimes it helps just to be open-minded and help you explore. So a lot of times we get stuck in our ways, stuck in our beliefs of what's right, or what certain things, how things should be, whatever the case is. Like, for example, you might get stuck in your ways of being like, oh, LeBron is the greatest basketball player ever, and you might get so closed off that you don't realize all the other talent that's there. So just be open to trying different things, and just hearing alternative perspectives. Again, don't know how positive that is, but hey, whatever, man. Hey, just accept that however you want to. I hope it hits you in the right direction, but just know it's with good intentions. I put it that way. Look, anyway, man, hey, we're going to be on Patreon soon, too. So I definitely want to give a heads up for that. So check out the Patreon. Of course, it'll be named The Run Podcast. So be on the lookout for the Patreon. We're going to be dropping some content on there. So trying to put some exclusive content on there. But truth be told, I really ain't figured out what the hell the exclusive content is yet. So it'll probably just be me talking about more personal stuff and whatever else. But we'll see. We'll figure out how we do the Patreon and all of that. But look, man, follow us on Instagram at The Run Podcast. Follow my personal as well at I am Manny Wilson. And then share this with a cousin, a brother, a friend, an aunt, an uncle, a niece, a nephew, a coworker, anyone you know who will enjoy this, especially if I talked about their team. And other than that, man, look, that's all I have for you. You better have a great weekend in this upcoming weekend. Whether you're listening Thursday night, Friday morning, Saturday morning, Saturday evening, Sunday morning, Sunday night, I don't care when you're listening. You better have a great weekend. Other than that, I'm out of here, man. I'll be back later on next week, and I will see y'all later on next week.